Alright, so this is my educational historical kids show called Timebreaker. So it's basically a random typical person disappears from society out of the blue, changes history while having fun without even knowing it, in the back of his head, about the future without even knowing. So basically, a typical 9 to 5 worker gets dragged into a random space of time out of nowhere and is transported to like a random period of time, like the 1400s, 1200s, maybe even back to Christianity, maybe in the future, anywhere really, around a period. And they need to find their own way home, but things they don't know how to, so they basically just adapt to the common life and basically get along with it. But however, the only twist is with that is that with the story itself, basically any time he basically adapts to this life, whether it be days or maybe weeks, all of a sudden after he's done like a major task within this community or something major in history, let's say, all of a sudden he basically repeats this cycle over and over again. So technically, horrible histories, Doctor Who, basically taking aspects and space stuff, kind of from Doctor Who. The general educational aspect, take it from horrible histories. And the tone of it, basically, generally on a kind-hearted aspect. They're forced to do it unwillingly. However, they don't realise the impact of their kindness. As it just changes history, they have fun, they explore and they learn. As the whole purpose of the show is to educate. Basically, we're having fun. It's like kind of one of those shows you get in like secondary school during history, where like you can't be asked to do something less, so you just watch a video. This would be like one of those videos you watch, I think. And so yeah, and so the characters. So unfortunately, we didn't get the feedback in time, so I don't have like a final character to show you. So I did a few little sketches with different positions, working in the office, running for the bus, or just chilling against the wall waiting for the bus because they promised it. So I've got a few different variations, 12 in total, but final's not there. So in terms of future episodes though, I've done, for the first 4, all names are placeholders because I can't guarantee that yet. Obviously the R is also a placeholder. So the first episode, Weird Looks. So in the build up to this kind of space warp, he basically feels like he's getting these weird dreams, like his hallucinations that affects his day-to-day life. And eventually starts missing work because of it. Then all of a sudden, second episode, bang off the bat, all of a sudden in this new territory unknown, and so then mudslide, all the man into action, and then roams around into whatever town I plan on doing it with. Third episode, spear jabbing, spears, Roman times, basically in the middle of a war, and just saving people. He's kind of like the, what was his name? So I won't go from that one, movie. One Andrew Garfield was in, one medic one, I forgot what it's called. Then the 4th episode, Herbs and Medicines, basically goes over like natural remedies, like basically, also because to younger audiences, I don't feel like nowadays and one day they're more so stuck to technology. They don't know how to do stuff, like kind of like you learn like Cub Scouts, that sort of thing, just general like outside of the modern world life skills, stuff like that, for example. Basically would educate through that way. So world building, I did some environments at the start, so like a generic room, which I label theirs, like a rough visual of the high street, no details, nothing too specific, as it's just like a rough line out, nothing to be confirmed yet. And some more inspiration as to like the world this character will probably go in. We've got the Egyptian times, Victorian England, into the bunkers of World War I, to the Native Americans, back to caveman times, maybe into Africa, or just anywhere really. And so the target audience, as I'm pretty sure it's stated, is towards the younger audience. It's around 8 to 15, so basically like school age. And it's got a bit more of mature humour, I guess, depending on how I intend to progress from this point onwards. So minor violence, nothing too crazy, no swear words. So Peggy 70 feels appropriate to me, as I'm pretty sure I'm not mentioned that. Also higher maturity, just because I don't intend to do it like a kids show, but I tend to do it to a bit more mature. So the higher school age children, so like during secondary school, World War II, either Cold War, it's basically like maybe more stick to topics like that, like the easier topics if you did in primary school, for example, which is literally just learning about England, like my little sister is. So overall, it's not as enticing for like younger kids, like early primary school. And in the end, it's just trying to be adapted for like a larger audience. So it's educational, informative, easy to watch, and basically helps students that are studying these subjects. Also, because general history is good to know, as I feel like a lot of people are kind of forgetting it. It's becoming like a forgotten subject. As much as everyone doesn't enjoy it, it's still a good thing to know. But despite that, that's my pitch deck. Thank you. Any questions? Yes, ma'am.
So, did you ever write like how did the guy get like roped into the past?
See, that's one thing I plan on doing. It's just basically skepticism for now. It's all just basically building up to it. So it's to basically simplify it. It's to be decided how it will happen, as it's only to be developed. It's not a developed project already.
Okay.
Anything else?
Your characters, were they animals?
There was a mixture between humans and animals. Yeah. Because, I mean, to be honest, in recent media, it's been shown to have like a higher attachment to like basic animal-based characters rather than human-based characters. Also, just because you can exaggerate. If I were to use an animation, for example, I could exaggerate features, basically make it a bit more like eye candy almost, stuff like that. Or copy like Horrible Histories, do like an in-person one. But again, it's kind of dependent on the feedback we get from the year ones.
Is there a sort of an idea in terms of the narrative of the world that you're creating, sort of why we have animals and humans? Obviously, you're doing it because it's, you know, popular.
It's more so just retention of the audience, because like studies have shown like younger people are more used to, should I say, short form content. So ideally, you want to try and aim for what's basically more popular, more like these younger audiences will like stick to in terms of like content they watch. So I feel like that maybe gives it a bit of a boost in terms of that.
Any more questions, folks? Okay, thank you very much, Troy.
Yeah.